Hello and welcome to this week's edition of New at 2.
Welcome, welcome.
This is Kaylin and Ashley this week coming to you from the Oklahoma City store.
Hi.
And this week, sorry, I had an itch on my nose. This week I wanted to talk to you guys about the Euphoria.
Ooh.
If you have not heard of it, the Euphoria is Baby Lock's cover stitch only machine. And so it's going to look similar to our serger setups where we have our tension across the top here and our needles down here. We've got our threading port here, but this one only does cover stitch. So if you need the machines to be separate, or really all you're going to do is cover stitch, you're doing a lot of hemming, things like that, this is the machine for you.
Got it.
Now, I know online right now we have some really good deals going on with it, so with some extra free goodies. So go to besewin.com to take a look at that. I know we have super limited stock on some of those specialty kind of bundles.
There you go.
So definitely go check those out. But I wanted to take a little time with you guys today to talk about some of the uses of a cover stitch machine and the differences between some of the supplies that you can use with it.
Okay.
So what you have with a cover stitch machine, if you come in close here, is going to be a base foot. And it lifts and lowers with my presser foot lifter on the side here. And what it has is just 3 needle slots. For a single needle in either 1, 2, or 3, a double needle in either the left hand 2 needles or the right hand 2 needles, or all 3 needles to do a wide, or one last option is to do 2 needles that are on the outside edges and leave the center one empty.
Okay.
So those are going to be the options, and that determines your stitch width.
Okay.
Right? There is no other width on this the way there is with a serger, an overlock where you're moving the blade. There is no blade on this one.
Got it.
Now you can put on different feet. This is going to be a snap-on, snap-off foot. A few of the feet are going to be able to work on this. So if you ever want to do different techniques with the feet, so think of like the piping foot or the cording foot, there's going to be a few things like that that are going to have a cover stitch only version. But perhaps more interestingly, to my mind, it's opinion, is that you can do the attachments on this machine. Of course, you can do them on the overlock as well for a few things, but these are going to be where the cover stitch really shines. And so what we have is 2 sets of screw holes. We've got a back set and a front set, and that's just because some of our attachments need to attach closer or further away from the foot itself.
Okay.
So what we have over here is 2 attachments that are really some of the most kind of basic functions that are useful on a cover stitch machine. We have a plain hemmer and we have a single downturn feller, and I thought I would take a little time today to explain what the difference is between these. And the short version is a single downturn feller takes your fabric and rolls it under, and a plain hemmer takes your fabric and rolls it up.
Got it.
Okay, they're doing the same thing. They're folding your fabric, in this case, 1/4 of an inch, because that's the specific size of this particular couple of feet. It does come in different size options. I think there's a 1/2 inch. There may even be a 1 inch if you want a deeper fold. But it's different how you're getting there. So if we look at the first one here, the plain hemmer, what you have is a flat plate that you're going to feed the fabric into, and then the metal curls up and it's going to feed your fabric into that fold.
Got it.
Nothing really going on the bottom of it. That's all it does. It just flips it up.
Got it.
On the single downturn feller, it's actually quite a weird contraption on the bottom. It's got a lot going on where now you have that plate and it's going to capture the fabric here and fold it under. If you look right here, it has kind of a stop on where it will fold the fabric to. And that's where you're getting that 1/4 of an inch fold, is that it's going to block the fabric from folding deeper right there. So this one's a little more intense looking, but it's really just as easy to use as the plain hemmer.
Got it.
So to attach these, what we've got is with your machine, you have attachment screws. They're just little thumb screws that go directly into these screw holes.
Okay.
These do come with the machine, but as you can imagine, they're very wee and very easy to lose. Ask me how I know. You can buy these by themselves if you ever need to replace them.
Perfect.
And what you're going to do is you're going to take your attachment and you're going to have a slot right here. All of these attachments, or the vast majority, are going to have 2 adjustment points.
Mhm.
You can adjust them across here, and you can actually adjust them here. If you notice, there's 2 screws here,
Mhm.
and there's actually 4 holes along here that I can screw this into, in addition to the fact that this right here is a long opening in this piece so that I can shimmy this this attachment forward or backward. The reason you would want to do that is because you want it to be close to the foot so that the fold can't unfold before it gets to the needles, but not so close that it's
Under your foot.
under your foot. Obviously that would be a problem too.
Yeah.
And so what you can do then is you can loosen these screws, and I could scoot this quite a bit closer to the toe of the foot.
Got it.
In fact, I think under most circumstances, that is what I would want to do with this one, because you can see here, I have easily, what would you call that, 1/2 inch?
Yeah.
If not 3/4 of an inch distance between the end of the foot here and the end of the attachment.
Mhm.
So what I'm doing is I'm lining up, right now just visually, where that fold is going to get made with where the needles are going to land.
Okay.
If you have trouble seeing all the way from here to here, you do have grooves, grooves are inset. You have raised lines
There you
on
go.
the end of the foot that are the line of where the needle is going to land. That's much easier to see. It's a much smaller jump visually to see if they're lining up. And I'm going to loosely screw these in. Oh, we've got a little construction going on in the background. Apologies, everybody.
Hopefully with the mics it'll cut out most of it.
It usually does, but we'll see. So when in doubt, make a tool work for you.
There you go.
Okay, so what I can do here, now these are the closest 2 screws, right? These are obviously further away. So I can't go any closer than this, and that's actually too close. You can see I'm actually touching the foot. I don't want that. That's a problem too. That's gonna be a much bigger problem actually. What I wanna do is put it nice and close so that it is catching under the foot as soon as that fold is made by the attachment. So I'm just gonna do that, and I'm gonna take the end of my tweezers, my very fancy screwdriver here, and I'm gonna position that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my fabric, let me scoot these things out of the way. And you always wanna practice this on a scrap. Don't put your like fancy garment under there, you know, right out of the gate. But I'm just gonna push it in there, and you see how it rolled it under there? And I'm just gonna give it a push, and I'm gonna lower my presser foot down onto it. And I'm just gonna start to run it. And what I'm looking for is if my foot is catching the fabric where I want it to catch the fabric.
Okay.
Now I'm looking here, I don't know if you can see inside of that opening there, but to me the fabric is a little bit too far to the left. So I'm gonna loosen my thumb screws here, and I'm gonna move the attachment. And this is another reason to do a practice run, so that you can make your adjustments on something you don't care what it looks like whenever you're done, because it's going to look maybe a little silly by the end. Because what I like to do is possibly, you know, capture sorry, my tail was caught there. I want to capture the edge of the fabric between the needles. But it depends on the application. If I want both needles on the fabric, I can, again, loosen that, scoot it a little bit over, and do it again. And it takes a moment for the fabric to readjust in its position, but it will. And then I can see my results. Now you can see it's super wobbly here because we kept changing it, but you can see if I flip it over, the movement. Now, one thing you might notice here though, is that the way that I did this on this one, my stitch lines are on the inside of my fabric, and my looper is on the outside of my fabric.
Got it.
Okay, so you have a couple of options if you don't want that to be the case. Now, if you want to pop a decorative thread in here and have a decorative hem, go for it. Great option. If, however, you don't want that, you need to use a downturn feller.
Okay.
So I know it flips the fabric 2 different ways, but that means you're going to get 2 different finishes. They're not actually fully interchangeable.
Got it.
Even though they both do functionally the same thing, right? So this would, to me, be a decorative finish. Now, I'm sure you'll have people disagree on that. And you can try all kinds of different ways if you want to experiment with this foot. See if you can make it work for you in other ways that you like. Because if I turn my fabric right side up, what I'm going to get isn't stitching on the correct side. What I'm going to get is
your raw edge
folded up this way. Yeah.
And I see a lot of this on like workout leggings and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is really popular for athletic wear. It's a good look, you know, if you put in a variegated, something like that. It's got a really nice finish. So this is going to be, to my mind, this is going to be your kind of decorative finish. If we take this one off, boy, did I get it on there really tight.
You got stronger hands than you thought.
Yeah. Notice these don't have grooves for you to tighten it down with a screw. These are just thumb screws. They should not be so tight that you can't get them off.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll set that one aside. So let's say I want a more traditional hem where I see my stitching on the clean finished side as opposed to on the inside. So I'm going to do the same thing here. You notice I didn't need the back set for either of these. This is for other attachments. And it's usually pretty obvious which one to use because you can tell, is this a good distance? Is this way too far away? You can usually use logic, basically, for where you need to put your attachments.
Yeah. And they make seam guides and things that might sit back in that farther one a little easier.
So now I'm doing the same thing here where I'm lining up where the edge of my fabric is going to be with where the needles are. Now, of course, that changes depending on which needles you have in there. On something like this, though, so I mentioned here that if you have the needles bridging across the fabric, on this one, you're actually missing one needle pass. So for this, while I thought this was too deep, you might want something more like what we ended up with at the end, where the needles are both catching on the folded fabric, right? On this one is where you really get what you can think of as a cover stitch. You're covering over the raw edge. Yeah. To my mind, a perfect stitch on this, a perfect placement of your attachment is going to be where the needles are on either side of the raw edge that's underneath, so that the cover stitch looper, that chain looper, is covering the raw edge to prevent unraveling. I can't see the raw edge when I do this, which is where it's so important to use something like the hemmer here, or the downturn feller, as I should call it. But it's going to be the same way, where you're just going to poke it in. Now, I could scoot this closer if I really wanted to. If you're really new to these feet, that's probably a good idea. If you feel comfortable with the foot, go for it. If it's a little further away, up to you. Now, bear in mind, you can shove this so hard that you wrinkle your fabric into it.
Got it.
Okay, so it's more about feeling when it bumps into that inside edge and just trusting it, right?
Got it.
But again, that's where practicing on some scraps is recommended on any project. I don't care how long you've been using the attachment, all different fabrics behave a little differently. And so I would always recommend practicing with whatever fabric you're using. You and I both know you're going to have scraps.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is what we see on the front. I don't know if you can see the needles because that fabric is really nicely matched to the thread.
It is.
But if you look on the back here, and I'll set it here so you can zoom in, pat myself on the back, I caught it perfect. My raw edge is in between the two needles.
That's awesome.
And that's really what you want from this one. This is not where I would input a decorative thread into the looper. I would leave it a more construction style thread. Although I guess that's up to you if you really want something decorative on the inside, right? Or if you're doing this on sheer fabric and you know you'll see both sides regardless of if it's turned inside out, this is going to give you that really clean finish. So that is the downturn feller and the plain hemmer. These are great attachments to have. Again, they do come in different sizes, and definitely either pick up the few that you need or go all in and get yourself a foot kit that comes with everything, so you're always going to have exactly what you need with any project.
Absolutely.
I love these. They're super easy to use. Just let yourself get used to how they feel to be used, and you're good to go.
They do make foot kits for most of the machines.
Yes.
That would carry
Yeah.
all or most of the feet that
Right, a
can
lot
fit
of the
that
feet.
machine.
Yeah. And this one does have a Euphoria specific attachment kit because they know you don't need any of the feet that are for an overlock machine or for a combo machine. So why bother paying for them?
Yeah, absolutely.
When really what you need is just what would work with a cover stitch.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of options, a lot of potential for how these machines can be used. They are more than just what they appear to be. If you just kind of think of them as their most
Surface
basic
level, yeah.
Yeah. So that is a little bit about the Euphoria today. Before I let you go, though, I do want to talk to you guys about a few things that are coming up soon at Be Sew In, and before we do our giveaway, because we didn't forget about that. So if you can join me over here this way, I'm actually gonna walk because I'm a grown-up. I can walk.
There we go.
Okay, so we're very excited about this. What we have coming up in our Oklahoma City and our Tulsa location as our first kind of run of this is a new program for Be Sew In called Society Kids. This is an after school, kind of think of it as an extracurricular program for kids ages basically like 8 until 16. What this is going to be is a once a week, basically 1 hour, 15-minute class that they will meet every week to make these 4 projects across the fall semester of 2025. So this is going to run for 12 weeks to start with. Of course, we do intend to continue it into further school semesters, school years. But what the first 12 weeks will teach you, or teach your kid, I should say, is how to make these 4 projects. We have this striped pillow here where they'll learn a little bit about quilt piecing. In addition to other skills, we've got an apron. We have this great upcycled t-shirt where they are going to take just a regular t-shirt, they're going to add a cool pocket to the front, and they're going to add this cool little panel to the back. Teaches them about clothing on a kind of a low stakes way to kind of get them used to the idea. And then it ups the ante a little bit and has them make pajama shorts or full-length pants, depending on which one they want to make. So this is going to be a really great class. I've been working deeply with all this curriculum. I've been so impressed by it, the way that they are teaching kids, the way that they build from one project to the next is really great. What we have is for attending is if you have already taken a Project Sew summer camp with us, and it doesn't have to have been this year. It can have been, last year, a couple years ago, so you've already learned the basics of sewing. You can just sign up for this class. It starts September the 9th and runs for that and the next 12 total Tuesdays.
Yep.
Either a 3:30 p.m. session or a 4:45 session, making sure that it's after kids get out of school.
Yeah.
If you have not taken Project Sew Camp, that's fine. We don't want to keep you from coming to this. But what we are going to have you guys do is come to a $40 session ahead of the class that is called the Beginner Workshop. It's going to be September the 6th, either at 9 a.m., so 9 to 11, or 1 p.m., 1 to 3. And that is kind of a crash course in the most basics of sewing, so that as soon as you start the Society After School program, you're ready to hit the ground running on these great projects.
Awesome.
This is upping the ante from what we teach in Project Sew.
Got it.
They're going to be learning how to cut out their patterns, how to trace patterns, how to read a pattern, how to pick the fabric, how to know how much yardage they need, in addition to deepening the sewing techniques that they're learning from the types of things we do in kids camp. So we're very excited about this. We, as a place, as a store, we will be providing the sewing machines for them to work on. They'll be sewing on Jubilant sewing machines, wonderful machines. We're providing, of course, the instructions. They'll get copies of the instructions. We're providing the classroom time, the educator, all that kind of stuff. And then as you're kind of like, I think of it as your tap shoes, your leotards, what you guys will bring is your notions. So scissors, pins, things like that, that either if you're a camper, you probably already have that great bin of notions that you got with camp, or if you weren't, you're gonna get a 30% off coupon to get the simple notions that you need to be able to be in the class from us. And then you'll also get your fun shopping list for the fabric that you'll bring in. Super simple stuff, quilter's cotton, maybe a little bit of flannel, you know, get your t-shirt. And so you'll have kind of your supply list just like you would have at school or at other extracurricular activities.
Got it.
So we're so excited to have you guys. Space is limited on this because we love our educators, and more than 12 kids at a time is
a lot.
Of course, they'll have a helper. They won't be alone. But
yes.
So just don't hesitate to sign up if this is something you want for your kid, you know, for your grandchild, for your friend's kid, for whatever, niece, nephew. Registration is open.
Awesome.
And we would love to have you join us, have your little one, I should say, join us for Society. We're so excited to start this. Like I say, we intend for this to be just a constant thing we're doing. This is just where we're starting it out.
Nice.
So only other things I want to talk to you about now that I've talked. Oh, I didn't tell you how much it costs. The beginner workshop is $40.
It's fine.
That's a one-time fee if you didn't take kids camp. Otherwise, it is a monthly fee of $140 for the class.
Okay.
And we've set that up on our website to be a like auto pay, $140 a month. Again, right now we've scheduled it up through December, but this is, or through November. But this is something that will continue, so just keep your eyes out for the details on how we'll handle it moving forward. We know December gets crazy between semesters with holidays, so it may be that we skip December, but just keep your eyes out for further details on Society. And again, we'd love to see you at our Oklahoma City or our Tulsa location this fall semester.
Perfect.
For our grown-ups, we do have a few other things going on in the Be Sew In world in the coming months. One of the things we have most recently debuted, is our Cut It Up event. This is an exclusive event that Barbara Harper has developed with us for Be Sew In specifically. This is going to be taking place at our Tulsa location. It is a 3-day event, September 11th through the 13th, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And what you'll be doing is utilizing the AccuQuilt cutters and Baby Lock sewing machines to both cut out and assemble this amazing table runner top. She'll also be teaching you how to prep your binding in a few different ways using AccuQuilt cutters.
Okay.
The fabric you see pictured here is not the fabric that you'll be using. This was just a sample so you could see what the project is, but it'll be a variety of different fabric kits. We didn't have enough fabric to make one, one fabric for all
Everybody
the kits.
gets the same thing.
Right. So it'll be a fun variety. We think you guys will like the fabric that we were able to utilize.
Perfect.
But just note, it is not these as fun as these are. And what this event includes is going to be all the fabric you need for the top and the binding. It's going to be lunch and snacks for all 3 days.
Perfect.
Of course, we will have fun prize giveaways. We will have discounts for you. We will have a lot of fun, basically, for you. And we will have Barbara Harper for you, who is one of the experts at utilizing the cube systems, which we'll be using, AccuQuilt, making your quilt tops. It's going to be a ton of fun, and it's only $199 for this entire 3-day event.
That's insane.
And that is only if you're not already an Emerald member, Emerald Plus member. If you are an Emerald Plus member, your price is only $139.30. That is amazing. So if you want to get discounts on the events, you can always become an Emerald Plus member any time of year. It is a 12-month membership rather than just like 2025 or, whatever. So we know it's already August. You wouldn't be worried about, oh, you only get 4 months of it.
Because it rolls over.
It just rolls over for 12 months, and then you would simply renew again the month that you signed up for the year before.
Perfect.
So it is never too late to get in on those discounts. You will make up the money you spent on the member discount or on the membership pretty fast.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to pay less for all of our beautiful, wonderful events, come to our clubs for free, all that kind of good stuff, go ahead and join Emerald Plus. But even if you don't, it's only $199. We would love to have you at Cut It Up. It's a little over half full already, so definitely don't wait on this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Last thing is, of course, we do have our ongoing club. As with every week at New At 2, this is the Oklahoma City schedule since that's where we are coming to you from. But each store has its own schedule. This week, I know it is Humble having their club, I think today, and Tulsa will be having their club on Thursday. So you can always go to our website, besewin.com, to see where club is happening closest to you next. And we would love to see you. If you're an Emerald member, attendance is included in your membership fee. If you're not a member, you can always pay the individual monthly fee of $15 just to attend club. But just like before, please join Emerald membership. There's so many benefits, club being just one of them. And we would love to have you at all of that type of stuff with us. We have a ton of fun. We've got Jory Snyder still traveling to all of our locations to present that. She is an amazing baby and lock educator.
Absolutely.
You don't want to miss all the things she can teach you. And really, you know, we love to teach sewing. We love to increase your knowledge of sewing in all these different ways. And so just find us wherever you can and come.
Yeah.
That leaves one thing left to do.
Yep.
We got to give something away.
Giveaways.
So come on back over to the Euphoria where I left the thing. Okay. So this week with the content on the Euphoria, we thought we would help set you up for your sewing with a Maxi Lock 4-pack. Yeah. This one is black thread. These are great because while I normally see these and think upper looper, lower looper, needle 1, needle 2, your cover stitch machine is also 4 threads. It's needle 1, 2, and 3, and it's the chain looper. So these 4-packs are great for a cover stitch only machine as well. And whether you have cover stitch only, overlock only combo, these are going to come in handy.
Absolutely.
So to win these,
like, share, and
comment. Any one of those on this post between now and Thursday at 5.
Yep.
And you're automatically entered to have your name drawn for this great giveaway.
Perfect.
But even if you don't win, of course, you know, we love to do discounts for those of us that aren't lucky enough to have our name drawn. And that is going to be 20% off of any baby lock, serger or cover stitch accessories or feet.
Okay.
Right? So, or feet or attachments, I should say. So these would be considered attachments, but of course the feet we will also discount. So if you want to increase the possibilities of your machine, we'll give you a great discount on those. We will also do a 25% discount on any serger, individual cones of serger thread.
Got it.
So those of you that don't get your lucky free thread can still get your machine set up for sewing.
Awesome.
So thank you guys so much for joining us today at New at 2, and we will see you next time.